Hey all. Alright, this video is basically more so for me than anybody else, just so that I can kind of go over my checklist of everything I carry, because we're riding to Broome, which is right on the other side of the country, and then up through the Kimberley and back again. So massive, about 7,000 or 8,000 kilometres we'll probably end up doing all told. Yeah, which is a big one for us. So we're on the east coast, basically going to start in Queensland. We'll trailer out to Mount Isa, and then after that we ride to the west coast, up to the north, and then across again. So it's pretty massive. So basically, yeah, the plan is just to go through all my gear, make sure I've got everything, and a few people have been interested in what we carry and what we don't on these long trips. So I just thought, oh well, I'll share that while we're at it. So for starters, I'll just move that down a bit. Might even bring it in a bit closer. Got a tripod. I'm very fancy. Here's my cooker. This is great. Got a cup, cooler, little stove with a thing. Yeah, the little piezo only works when it feels like it. So I've got a lighter in here. That's my pot, and that obviously screws onto there, and that's your cooker. And then here's my pot, which tea towel, an old cup of soup, a lighter for lighting campfires, etc, etc, and also for lighting the stove if the clicker doesn't work. And here's my cutlery. I like this little set. I've had it for years. It's just a little knife, fork and spoon, little folding one. And the good thing about them is when you open them up, they actually lock in so they don't rattle around. Quite good. Don't know where I got them from, but I've had them for years. So all this stuff you'll pretty much tell I've had for years. We've done a lot of trips all over Australia, and this works well for me. Again, this video is just my opinion, so I don't want to have the hardcores telling me that I'm carrying too much and I'm too fat and I'm too heavy and I'm too this and whatever. This just works for me, and I've been doing this for 20 years. So that's my cooking gear. For dinners, we usually just grab these sorts of things. Cans are big and chunky. These are good for lunches. Bit of chicken and wrap, whatever you can get your hands on, basically. That's just canned chicken. I'm not a big fan of canned tuna, so but yeah, one of them for dinner or two of them for dinner if you're real hungry. And then, because most days you find a service station to fuel the bike up, so you usually grab a burger or something like that there. That'll be lunch. And then I don't drink coffee, so that saves me a whole lot of hassle there. All right, riding gear for me. Again, I don't have the latest greatest and all the expensive brand gear. Just move this over a bit more. So for this trip, because it's going to get pretty hot up north, I'm going to take my vented summer jacket with my spray jacket for if it gets cool, and then I can wear my hoodie underneath that. And I like the jeans. These are just your motorbike jeans with the Kevlar and that in them. I like them just because then when you pull up at night, you're walking around in a pair of jeans for starters. You can put things in your pockets. That just works for me on these long trips. We're going to be gone for a month, so that works good. I sometimes throw a pair of sneakers in, or trainers, or whatever you call them, like just a pair of sand shoes. But the last few trips I found I never wore them. I carried them the whole time and never wore them, because these Alpine Stars are more than comfortable enough. And a pair of thongs for at night, just for cruising around. So I'm probably not going to worry about the sneakers this trip. I'll see how I go. If I've got room in the bag, I might chuck a pair in. They don't weigh very much, and they're handy sometimes if you do go for a walk, but that's a decision for another day. And a bag of clothes, socks, jocks, toiletry, t-shirts, just two of each. Plus I said I got on, and then once a week, thereabouts, we find we stay in a caravan park or something like that with a washing machine, give everything a wash and do it all again. Also in there I've got a little compressible towel. It's like a microfiber, folds down into a little bag about yay big. That's always handy. Now, keep going around this way. For comms this trip, I've got my little tank bag, of course, which has got muesli bars, multi-tool, which I keep wrapped in a plastic bag because it goes in my boat as well. Spare cords and charge devices and whatnot while I'm riding along, so it's handy. Then for comms, I've still got my spot for this trip, but I'm going to try the Zoleo out, and the spot is still current until July. The plan runs out in July. We'll be back in June, so I've put this on as a 3-month minimum, so I started this about a month and a half ago. When I get back, my 3 months will be up. If I don't like it, I'll return it. If I do like it, I'll cancel the spot when it's due in July, and then that'll be it. The Zoleo will be a new thing, so keep an eye on that. You'll see how we go with that. Spare cords for devices. Always carry a spare, man. It's such a pain when they don't. You get the one you take craps out. Spare one of these is handy too. I run them on the bike for your things. Sometimes they get a bit wet or might break one or whatever like that. You're screwed. And I've found a cigarette lighter on the bike, or cigarette lighter plug on the bike with these, for me personally, is better than having purpose-built USBs, because with the ones we buy here in Australia anyway, as soon as they get a little bit of moisture in them, they stop working. As with these, if you've got a spare one, you grab the dry one out of your backpack. When I did the Cape York trip a few years back, yeah, a few times I couldn't charge things when I needed to, and it was a bit annoying, so I've just changed it to that, and it just works. Plus then, the cigarette lighter plug also allows you to plug in the compressor if you're pumping up a tyre. Yeah, some ibuprofens, they're always handy. Move that around. My backpack is just a regular backpack, you know, earplugs. Most of that stuff goes in here. Oh, here's my new torch. Love this. This is charges USB-C, same plug as my phone. It's a Hardcore brand. Oh. Alright, sorry about it. Just had my old dad drop by. Alright, this is my favourite new torch. It's a Hardcore brand. I got it at BCF. It's got a little elastic thing so you can like hook it to the handlebars or whatever. But the cool part with it is it's, yeah, USB-C charge, same as a phone. A few different modes. Got a yellow light, which is going to be good with bugs and whatnot. Oh, a flasher, there you go, it's fancy. But it's also magnetic, so that's nice. It, you know, you can just hook it onto the tank. I've had it mounted on the guttering here above the barbecue even. It's a great little light, so we're pleased with that. And that's, yeah, I'll definitely keep going with that. Backpack, pretty much that sort of stuff goes in here. I do take a little tablet with me, just to, if I'm laying in the tent at night bored, I can flick a movie on or edit my video or whatever I want to do with it. It just slides in a little pocket of the backpack here. For comms, if you guys use the Bluetooth stuff and that, I suck at technology, so I have got faithful old Uniden, which just works, with a mouthpiece strapped to my thing, you know. Oh, I can't use it doing 100 obviously, but if I hear voices I can pull over, like with the corner man system and stuff like that. It works great. When we did The Simpsons years ago, it was good. You're coming to the top of a sand dune, you can hear cars coming and all that sort of stuff, so you can just kind of have contact with people, so that's handy. And then to charge that, I don't know, once every few nights I plug it onto the bike and that charges it up. And yeah, again, there's probably better systems, but that just works for me because I'm technologically challenged. Because I know Daryl's mucked around with the Bluetooth systems and that and tried to set me one up, but I don't know, man, I struggle for all that stuff. For this trip, I'll take a spare air cleaner, I've got a spare heavy duty tube, that's an 18, under the seat of the bike's a 21, so I've got tubes well and truly covered, my little compressor. Here's a chunk of rope that's been sitting in the bottom of my pannier bag for about 12 years. It's just, I've never used it, but I suppose if I need a clothesline or a bit of a tow or tie a bike to the back of a ute, whatever. Piece of rope's always handy. Roll of tape always gets you out of trouble. Here's my fancy new bag. I'll bring it down here where it's a bit easier to see. I used to have a couple of different little tool bags, but I went and got myself this cool balance one. So I'll move that down so we can see it a bit better. So, get rid of that out of the way. And it's got a big open section here, so I've got Allens and nuts and bolts and another spare cable, sticky tape, some silicone. I need to pick up some liquid metal, that's something I am out of, and some zippy ties in that front pocket. And I have seen a couple of reports about these bikes having wheel bearing failures. It's only a few, so we've got 2 of these CFMotos going across the desert, so we've got a set of wheel bearings just in case one of us has a problem, or both of us do. We'll have to work it out, but we'll figure that out, but I'm not anticipating much trouble. And that's that part. And then it's also got this nice little bit, which is your bits and pieces, your spanners and T-handle and a spare clutch lever, which that actually, I haven't tested it, but it looks like it's going to fit the CFMoto. If not, we'll get creative and we'll work it out if I break a clutch lever. But yeah, that's for a DRZ400. Looks very similar. Looks like you'd be able to make it work. It might be a bit wobbly, but it'll get you out of trouble. Some tyre levers, plus I've got tyre levers mounted on the bike. Earplugs, a fly net, Probably don't need these as much in the rest of the world, but here in the outback of Australia, some days the flies are just terrible. So you put that over your head and keeps the flies out of your bloody eyes. Terrible. So that's always handy. And spare earplugs for obvious reasons. This pocket I got my sockets, and this pocket I got my cable looper and chain breaker by the look of it. Hey, a little balanced chain breaker, that's handy. I'll actually got to pick up also a couple of joiner links and I'll bring 6 inches of chain just in case. But yeah, I've got spoke tools. Just, yeah, basically this will get you out of trouble. It won't rebuild the bike, but it'll get you out of trouble. A couple of screwdrivers, bits and pieces. I went with the kidney belt style bag this time round because I found myself, like, I just used to have like a pencil case with all the nuts and bolts and bits and pieces like that front pocket, and then like a little tool roll with all this stuff in the bottom of the pannier. But then you find yourself, you might go for a ride down the beach one day, or just a day ride on the DRZ 400 or whatever, and you think, oh shit, and you got nothing with you. And we do go, you know, living out here in the kind of near the bush, we do go middle of nowhere just for a day ride. So we I've got the kidney belt style, so if I am just going out for a day ride, I can, you know, hook it around my belt and away we go. So I can take it, which proves to be handy. Another thing I carry, if we go back a few videos, you'll see I crashed my Super Tenere and got another one. So I grabbed the factory toolkit out of it. They're handy because they always got like spark plug sockets and bits and pieces. And what I usually do with that is my anti-strap bags. These little pockets on the outside are fantastic. So I'll probably leave that one of them in there. This one's got bug spray, and I'll probably throw a little small can of WD-40 in that one. And they just got the little things to tighten them up. And then I just use Coke bottles for water bottles. The upside to doing it like that rather than buying specialised bladders and stuff is that if you do get contaminated water or something like that, you can throw them away and easily get another one. You know, buy a bottled water and, you know, refill that bottle. Yeah, so if you do get contaminated dirty water, they're easy to replace. They fit nicely in these pockets. These anti-strap bags are great with the pockets like this, you know, you can fit all that stuff. So when you pull up to top up your water bottles, you're not having to pull the whole bike apart to get at them. They're just there, easy to get at. And these anti-strap bags, oh, another lever. They're great. I'm really pleased with those. I've had them for a few years now, and, you know, they're dirty and dusty and holding up really well. Good quality. They're not the cheapest, but yeah, and they hold heaps of stuff. I don't know how super waterproof they are, but as a rule, you know, anything that I want to keep dry, like my clothes and that, for example, I put in a plastic bag to keep that sort of stuff dry. And then last but not least is my tent, chair, and I'll just straighten you up a bit there. Tent, chair, and sleeping gear. So this time around, bring them around. In here I have just a little self-inflating mattress. It's just an Aldi one, it's nothing exciting. And weirdly enough, it works really well. If you go back check my playlists when we went across Australia, there's plenty of examples of, you know, how we set the tents up. -5 sleeping bag that I've had, it's a jumbo, but I'm 6'2" and 110 kilos, so anything smaller than that, and I just don't fit in it. And I've never had a bad night's sleep. I've slept in -2, I've slept in 30 degrees. If it's hot, you sleep on top. If it's cold, you snuggle in. I've also got a pillowcase in there, which works great for, I stuff my jacket, my jeans and stuff into it, and that just works for a pillow then. So that works out nice. This time around, for my birthday, I got the fancy Cafe Halinox. I used to just have the little one, which was only this big, which used to fit in the pannier. Now this one's got to go on the back of the bike, but it's much taller and better. Yeah, the cafe chair. My old man knees and stuff aren't working like they used to, so I just found that one so much better for me. And then my tent, I just buy your Oz Trail from the hardware store. 3-man dome tent. Yeah, it's a little bigger. Yeah, it's a little heavier. But again, you fit everything inside it. It's freestanding. I don't have to put pegs in. I only time I peg it is if it's looking like rain. And then you just peg the middle, and that just makes it nice and tight. Again, go back and have a look at our past videos and you'll see how that's all set up. They just work. Me and Daryl have done it like that for years. He had a few fancier brand tents back in the day, and you know, pissed down rain overnight, woke up in the morning, he's wet and I'm dry in a $80 tent. So he started doing the same thing, and now he swears by it as well. They're just good. And this one I actually replaced last year in the Flinders Ranges. My other one, a zip crapped out after about 7 or 8 years. So I pulled into the hardware store at Broken Hill and bought another one, a 3-man dome tent. Like, nothing special about it, but they work great for us. Again, don't flame me, I don't, you know, because you use the little super duper hiking tent for $7,000. More power to you. I'm probably carrying 4 or 5 kilos more than I need to. Maybe I'm carrying 10, who knows, but hey, my body's carrying 10, 20 kilos more than it needs to, so who cares? I can live with that. This is how I've done it for years, and I've never had a problem. I've gotten everywhere I want to go. I've never broken a bike. I've put a heavier spring on that bike actually for this particular trip, and that seems to work quite well. So yeah, so I think that pretty well covers everything. Navigation, you've seen how I do that. I just do the Nokia phone with the Garmin on the front of the bike. The Nokia XR20 is great because it's waterproof, shockproof, dustproof, and so it's just Android. But it, I've mounted to the bike and never had a problem with it. Sitting in the rain and the dirt, and direct mounted too, so it's sitting there vibrating all day, and it just works. And they're like $330 or something. I saw them on special the other day at Big W, so they're great. That's me for the phone. Little old Garmin. Everyone runs the newer Garmins, and everyone I know with Garmins who has trouble with them seems to update them. I've had the 660 before this, and then this one. This came with an Africa twin I had a while back. My trick with Garmin: never update them. All the outback roads we run on, they never really change anyway. If I'm going through the city and I need to find about the latest street, I'll just use the phone because there's usually service in those areas. But in the outback and, you know, in the bush where we go, those old dirt roads and dusty roads we go looking for, they never really change, so I don't update it, and I get like 10 years out of a Garmin. Everyone else I know seems to be forever having trouble, you know, loading GPX files and just mucking around. I don't know. I do the GPX stuff through the phone. It's just easy. I can email it to the phone, click on it, it comes up in the GPX viewer, and it just works. So again, technology is not my friend. I found a system that works for me. I'm sticking with it. What else? Yeah, so just an old pillowcase to carry my cooking gear in. Keeps it all together. I think that's pretty much me for this trip. I hold it all down on the bike with rock straps. These are great. I've got the two yellow ones hold the gear on the back, the tent and the swag and the chair, and the orange one with a bit of an extension on it holds the panniers in nice and tight. Again, there might be better ways out there, but this has worked for me for a long time, and yeah, it works great. Yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. I'll load the bike and give you a quick view of what it looks like all loaded up, and then that's us. I think I've pretty much got everything I need, so I'm looking good. Sunday afternoon, I finish work at 4. Daryl's picking me up here at 4:30, and we're heading to Mount Isa. Hopefully the man who contacted us the other week gets back in touch with me so we can park the cars there. If not, we'll have to figure something else out, but we'll work that out. And yeah, ready to cross the country. We've got 4 weeks to get across and get back again. Camping in the bush the whole time, other than the odd night in the caravan park to wash gear. No, it's going to be great. Really looking forward to it. So, excellent. And that's her. So yeah, the anti-strap bags work great. These extra straps I usually strap in, just flick them in here out of the way so they don't blow around. But yeah, as you can see, these little pockets are awesome. Bottles of water are easy to get at, so when you pull over somewhere, to top up water, it's easy to get at. You want to stop and fill a bladder or whatever, it's just easy. This stuff up here, it looks bulky, but it's all light stuff. That little aluminium chair weighs bugger all. Tent, a couple of kilos. Little self-inflating mattress and a sleeping bag. None of it's heavy, you know what I mean? It looks bulky, but it's actually good because with my backpack on, I lean back here, it's a nice backrest. It works really well as a backrest on a long trip. Put my $9 cruise control on and sit back and listen to some tunes. Life's good. So yeah, just a small tank bag. I found that to be plenty. Some people like bigger ones. TPMS for obvious reasons. Yeah, but yeah, like I say, it carries this load fine. With the stock spring, I was bottoming out a little bit, but again, yeah, I'm 110 kilos. What's that, like 240 pounds or something crazy? So I'm a pretty big unit. yes, it's pretty happy. Nice new spring. That should sort that out. I haven't ridden it with loaded yet, but it should, I'm sure it'll make it better. It's one size heavier than the original. So, you know, Pirelli Scorpion on the front, DC 606 on the rear. I'll just answer a few questions that I know I'm going to get in the comments. I get them every time, which is fine. Bring the comments on, I love them. Navigation, little Garmin. And then this is my, oh, go away, that's my GPX view. You know, just follow the pink line. So when you zoom right in. So I just, like I say, there's probably better way systems out there. The DMD looks pretty impressive that Daryl's trying out at the moment. But again, I'll stick with what I know. How good's this bike? Someone's vibrated my bike. I better make sure no one's stealing it. Yeah, so that works good. And then of course, you know, got that lovely little CFMoto dash. I also like this bike with the USB-C. It's handy just for charging things as well, which is good. USB-A. Cigarette lighter plug down here that plugs those things in I was telling you about before. They work best for me. Yeah, so this thing's got 12,000 odd Ks on it now. Where's the button for that? Yeah, 12,221 by the look of it. Okay, cool. So this trip should get us up near 20,000. So I'll give her a good review when I get back. Hopefully I've got nothing bad to report. If you've seen earlier videos, I did say I wasn't going to worry about bash plates and crash bars and stuff. But now that we kind of go and say remote, I've done that. I've gone the Barkbuster. I had a set with yellow covers. I know they're a bit ugly, so I just chopped up the original CFMoto covers and screwed them on, and they look great. They work a treat. Yeah, AliExpress bash plate. I'm sure the B&B one's a lot better quality, but again, I wasn't spending 350 bucks on a little Chinese bike. That wasn't that exciting to me. Disconnected the side stand switch, which is a must-do, man. I hate bikes with side stand switches, but now I've got the center stand. It doesn't really matter. And the bottom crash bars, the upper crash bars weren't at the dealer the other week when I was there, so maybe they'll turn up. If they do, cool. If they don't, well, I'm just going to have lowers. And yeah, so that's my setup. Any questions, whack them in the comments and I'll endeavour to answer them. Oh, another thing I did throw on it was the little foot thing, because we're going to be in a lot of sand, so one of them just to make the foot a bit bigger. But yeah, other than that, I think that's pretty much got me covered of everything I'm going to have. Yeah, there's me gear ready to go. Backpack, bike ready to go. Sweet, ready for adventure. Stay tuned, like and subscribe. As you see, we'll be going across to Broome, so there's going to be plenty of shenanigans with that, no doubt. Here we've got Graham on his CFMoto and Daryl taking his 701, so that'll be good fun. Yeah, so check out my cool owl I've got. I keep getting birds coming and crapping all over my outdoor furniture. So I've got an owl and a rubber snake. Yeah, seems effective so far, but we'll see. I think that's everything. Beautiful.